The World Cup 2022. We all know it'll be in the host nation of Qatar. One of the most controversial World Cup bidding ever to happen in the history of FIFA and football. And we all know how controversial it will be when it finally arrives. But let's see how FIFA predicts it'll go down in Qatar. Hey guys, how's it going? BCHD here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, we are simulating through the 2022 World Cup in Qatar on FIFA 18 career mode and seeing how it ends up, seeing who's going to take the crown and seeing who is going to win it, and looking at all the new players coming up. Let's see who the top goal scorers are, who the main players are, any standout nations going further than, 2018 World Cup. But yeah, the 2018 World Cup is almost over, so let's see how the next one will pan out on FIFA 18 career mode. Hope you guys have been enjoying all the videos as of late. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. Also hit the like button if you're going to enjoy. Follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description, and let's get straight into these FIFA 18 career mode World Cup 2022 groups in Qatar. So guys, my simulated team is Brazil. They are in the Group D with Denmark, Hungary and China qualifying for 2022. Two nations that didn't qualify for 2018 World Cup, but it's Brazil chose to simulate this with Germany, Russia, Austria and Egypt coming in there in Group E. Austria making it in there. Belgium, Scotland, United States and South Africa making it in Group F, while Group G consists of Spain, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia and the Ivory Coast. One nation that didn't qualify for this year's World Cup: Argentina, Netherlands, Sweden and Cameroon. So of course Cameroon didn't qualify for 2018. As we move on to Group A, it's England, Turkey, Romania and Uruguay. So two nations, Turkey and Romania, not qualifying for 2018 but making it for 2022. It's France, Slovenia, Mexico and Colombia. A very balanced group there. As we move on to Group C, Italy, Northern Ireland, Australia and Chile. So Northern Ireland and Italy unfortunately not making it into 2018 World Cup, but they do make 2022, which is some good signs for the future for Italy and my home nation Australia. But we move on, and it's not necessarily about Brazil in this World Cup 2022 simulation. It's more about, being involved in the tournament to get a more in-depth view of it and not just simulating from an outsider's point of view. So we go into our first game against Hungary here. We also, as we simulate with Brazil here, very, very strong lineup. I predicted them to win this year's World Cup, so let's see how they do in the 2022 World Cup. We have Neymar getting us off to a great start there. 9 minutes in as we go ahead and simulate. Neymar and Fabinho with a double, getting a 4-0 win against Hungary. The perfect way to start off in Qatar. But we move on to our next game against China Republic here. We go into this one. They didn't qualify for 2018, but FIFA 18 predicts them to qualify for 2022, and it's Gabriel Jesus getting a double, as well as Teles, the left back, also getting in on the action. As we continue on, Brazil have qualified for the knockout rounds. We're going to continue on in our third game against Denmark, which they have already got a win, but let's see how they do in their second game. Taking on us, we've already qualified, so it's a bit of a dead rubber game, but we'll see how the squad goes and see who is going to qualify out of this group. As you can see here, we're going to play Denmark. Christian Eriksen's Denmark. Let's see if he's still there. It's pretty much the same lineup from 2018, the World Cup that just happened. So let's go on and see what happens here with Brazil. Neymar getting his third goal of the tournament there in the 28th minute, showing his class, as well as Casemiro in the 66th getting a goal there with a nice comfortable 2-0 victory against Denmark. So let's see who's qualified for the knockout rounds, and let's see who's going home early in Qatar. It's Denmark and Brazil making it out of that one. 9 points, 3 wins out of 3 for our simulated team Brazil. Denmark also getting it out there with 4 points, getting 1 draw, 1 win and 1 loss. So very inconsistent in the group, but it's Germany and Russia making it out there with 4 points each. Germany finishing on top, as well as Belgium and South Africa. United States knocked out in the group stages, going home early in a relatively easy group. Scotland also going home with 1 point as well, but there's still a game to be played in that, so we'll get back to that Group F in second. Spain and the Ivory Coast look to be heading out, but Switzerland still have a chance. Saudi Arabia going home with 2 losses there. So there's still one more game to be played, but this is the end of our group stages. So we'll see what happens in the end. Argentina and Netherlands also getting out of that group. Cameroon might be still alive, but depends who they're playing in the end. England, 3 wins out of 3. Getting the win against Uruguay, Turkey, and Romania. Romania and Turkey are headed home, whilst Uruguay and England are into the knockout rounds of Qatar 22. As we move on to Group B, it's France and Slovenia making it out, and Mexico get knocked out by, I think it might be goal difference or yellow cards, or maybe head-to-head against Slovenia. I'm not sure, but it doesn't specify for this simulation. And Italy and Australia make it out of the group. Australia make it out on goal difference. So my home nation and my nation of my nationality making it out there. Italy and Australia, a perfect simulation there for me. Italy and Australia making it out of Group C, whilst we're back at Group D there. So a very decent simulation there. We're going to move straight on to the knockout rounds of Qatar 2022. And it's England defeating Slovenia 1-0 there in the round of 16, as well as Italy getting a 3-1 victory against Christian Eriksen's Denmark. USA did end up making it out of the group. Germany defeated them though 2-1. As well as Spain versus the Netherlands getting their revenge on that 2014 disaster, the 5-1 disaster in the group stages. France taking on Uruguay, Brazil is taking on Australia, and Belgium is taking on Russia, and Argentina are up against the Ivory Coast. So some very decent matchups in there. We've already had half the round of 16 games, so we're about to simulate our game, Brazil, against my hometown nation, Australia. So very interesting stuff going on there. We're going to simulate this one against Australia and see if we can get the victory, as Australia still have a very decent team. Talisca gets a goal there for Brazil, a penalty in the 8th minute. Australia pretty much have a really decent team. A lot of wonder kids in there. Luongo, Arzani, Da Silva, Akonomidis, Juric, Chapness, McLaren in there as well, and they're only losing 1-0, but Malcolm gets a second goal. Rogic gets a goal there in the 69th minute, making it 2-1. So not really a smashing from Brazil, but they did edge it out in the end. And Australia going home, but with their heads held high, as they did only lose 2-1 to Brazil. And we have our other half of the quarterfinals done. It's England knocking out Italy, my home nation in that one as well. My nationality getting knocked out, as well as Australia and Germany. Spain defeating Germany on penalties. Not really a German thing to do, lose on penalties, but it's Brazil taking on France in that quarterfinal, and it's Belgium taking on Argentina in the other quarterfinal. So a lot of interesting, juicy matchups here in the quarters. A lot of high quality teams are still left remaining in this Qatar 2022 World Cup. Not really like 2018. I mean, Russia, Croatia, Sweden are still in the World Cup. So, you know, it's a very, very high entertaining World Cup, this one, compared to Russia in terms of like quality teams. I mean, the World Cup is still entertaining this year, but in this 2022 simulation, we got a lot of high quality teams, a lot of high ranked teams still left in the competition, as we get Talisca with his second goal of the competition here, 30 minutes in, as Fekir gets a red card early on. We do make some substitutions. Are France going to make their way back into this game, the last 10 minutes of the game? And it is 1-0 to Brazil. We are headed to the semi-finals of the 2022 World Cup. We're going to see what happened in the other games, as England get knocked out by Spain 1-0. So it's Spain in the World Cup final. Meanwhile, we're taking on Belgium, as they defeated Argentina 2-1. Knocked out Messi, if he even was still playing. We'll have a look at that later. But we are up against Belgium, and they are on a good run of form, winning their last 3 games, and we get a good start here. Casemiro getting a goal, Talisca getting a 12-minute yellow card, whilst we did get a 5-minute 1-0 lead, but Carrasco levels the scores here with a 29th minute goal. We move on 2-1 as well. De Bruyne gets one right before half-time, and we are in a lot of trouble here. Can we get it back? 70th minute. Are we going to do anything in the last 2-2? Neymar gets a 79th minute goal. I completely didn't see that. And we simulate forward, and what extra time. Wallace gets a goal to make it 3-2, and Carrasco, with 4 minutes to go, equalizes, making it 3-3, forcing it to penalties, and we get a 5-4 victory against the Belgians. So it's Brazil in the World Cup final of Qatar 2022 versus Spain. So let's see how this one goes. Who will win, Spain or Brazil? The 2022 World Cup final is underway as Isco gets a 15-minute goal, making it 1-0 to the Spaniards. Are they on their way to win their second ever World Cup? Let's have a look to see as we enter the second half here. The Brazilians, we've got to step it up a bit. Can we do it against the Spaniards? This was, of course, the Confederations Cup final in 2013 as Neymar gets a 72nd minute goal to equalize things. Is it headed to penalties? Is it headed to extra time? We're going to have to look. We're going to have to wait and see as we continue on into the second half of extra time what is going to happen. Sayul gets a 2-1 goal, but then Gabriel Jesus gets 118th, and Brazil, for the second game in a row, win it on penalties, and they've won the World Cup final on penalties 4-3. And FIFA 18 Career Mode predicts the winner of Qatar 2022 will be Brazil. They'll get their 6th World Cup title. So wow, what a World Cup from Brazil, beating a lot of quality teams on the way, as well as France and Belgium and Spain. So it wasn't necessarily the easiest road to the final, but that has been Qatar 2022. A lot to look forward to. Let's see who were the top goal scorers in this competition. Let's have a look here. Neymar with 5, Fekir with 4, Tammy Abraham there for England with 4 as well. Arp, the young German striker, getting 3, Fernandez getting 3 for Switzerland, Dimanta getting 3 for Belgium as well. I haven't heard of him, so another one kid on the rise. We do have a lot of goal scorers here. Gabriel Jesus, Hazard, Burke for Scotland even getting a few goals. Fabinho for Brazil, of course. Quincy Promes gets 3 assists for the Netherlands. And Mbappe getting 3. Kai Havertz, the young German wonder kid, getting 3. Pablo Fornals for Spain getting 3 assists as well. So Harry Winks, the Tottenham player, getting 3 assists, as well as Hazard for Belgium. So a very interesting tournament in terms of standout players and, you know, wonder kids on the rise in 2022. Hopefully it's that exciting when it comes around in 4 years time. But hope you guys have enjoyed the video. That has been Qatar 2022 simulated on FIFA 18 career mode. Brazil, the eventual champions of that. Hope you guys did enjoy that quick little simulation. If you did, hit the subscribe button down below for more FIFA 18 content coming at you on the regular. Like the video if you did go on to enjoy the video. Hit the bell for notifications for when I upload. Follow me on Twitter. Don't feel free to interact with me on social media, and I'll catch you guys on the very next video.